Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone doing? It is break time. I'm going to switch over to the chat. Give me 1 second. I was so focused in the last hour, and it was actually a good thing. Let me change the session counter to 2 first. I think I made a mistake yesterday. I realized that towards the end because there is no way I'm like coming here for like 10 hours, 30 minutes. It was only 8 sessions. And so, yeah, I think I definitely like mess up. Like I forgot to change the counter for one of it. But I mean, today I'm here. I will remember. And this is going to the second session. So having dinner, be right back. Hello, Sub. I know you are taking some time off, so if you want to enjoy yourself today, feel free to do that. I think I went a little bit too hard yesterday, and I do need a break as well. I don't. It's like a marathon. It's not a sprint, so I think I went a little bit too crazy yesterday. So I'll dial it down. I woke up at 7 a.m. Okay, that's great. Oh, you can't really focus. You're living in the German time zone and you can't get used to it. I guess that's a problem. And since then, I'm just busy. I want to go to the gym later and then record a video. Okay. So put it on your to-do list and get started. And hello, Banzai. Are you working on the Japanese again? I know you have an exam coming up. How are you doing? Are you getting ready for that? Okay, great. So I see that you use the category that you entered yesterday. So that's great. So you have 4 more points that you need to go before you can become level 2. So let's see how many hours you were able to get done today. I think I did went a little bit crazy yesterday. I went all out and then got like 10 hours to the maximum already. I think my brain is fried. So I'm going a little bit slower today. I'll do like only 3 session in the morning and then later in the afternoon I may or may not come back. But yeah, I think I need to make sure this is a marathon, not a sprint. I'm going to like go little by little. I just hope what I do is useful. I'm sure it is. I hope I can get through most material for NF5 and go over the stuff I've issue with during my 4 prep lead session this month. Okay. So how far are you at for your N5 material? If you divide it into chunks, like would you be able to divide into chunks? Like when you are saying the material, like I don't know, page 10 to 20, or maybe they have chapters. I think they do have chapters. It is hard to tell, to be honest, because there's so many sections: reading, listening, grammar, and vocabulary. You know what? I can use like how to exercise in gym in this case. So you spend day 1 in your upper body, or day 2 in your lower body, and then day 3 like core, so that like you are rotating. So maybe it's the same thing. Like today you could spend more time in reading. Tomorrow is going to be mostly listening, and then it's grammar, and then vocabulary. You just rotate it. So if we're just talking about reading, like if we break into chunks, like how far are you along on reading section alone? Like if you're saying like prepared is 100, then are you at 50? Are you at 80? For for some reason, the Japanese exam don't test the speaking skills. I think a lot of these language exam don't test speaking. They just assume listening is same as speaking. That's one thing. And the other thing is, I personally feel like speaking is the most important thing. Like, what's the point of learning a language if you can't talk to people? That's the whole point of like learning that language. But speaking itself give like you need a lot of effort to administrate an exam and etc. So I'm probably going to spend some test exam these days and know what I'm struggling with. Okay. So then let's get started on test 1. How long is like one test? Like how long, like if you need to spend some time to finish one test, how long would that be? You never timed it. That's okay. Then next session you will know. If you want to spend some time focusing on the test next session, then oh, okay. Yeah, and then you will know like how much you will be able to accomplish in 1 hour. So that could be like a full hour of focus session. Do you think that potentially might work? I think I'll practice the exam tomorrow. I'm working on cutting down the history. Oh, you're still working on the history presentation. I remember that presentation. Okay, that works. If you want to use some time to work on a history presentation, that is great. Let's get that going. I was checking the market for the first hour. I don't know. I just like when I wake up, I think the first thing I do is to read some of the news. Some news. And then like one thing I read about is what happened in the Middle East. And then when I woke up, get to the desk and checking the stock, I'm just like, it feel like delusional. Like I don't know, like the stock market just a little bit crazy. So I think I'm done and going to move on to the next task. But it's just addictive to like I don't know, it's a weird feeling like looking at like the stock going high while on the other side of the world it's just like constantly war and stuff. It's just it feels so segmented. Like yeah, I it feel weird, I have to say. Yeah, it's annoying to go over because it's supposed to be around 90 minutes long, so rehearsing takes forever. So if you change something in between, you lost track of time. So one thing that you would be able to do is you just go ahead and then whenever you have something that you want to change, don't change it, just note it down, move on, and then just keep going until the end and then change it at the end. Because otherwise I understand it's not going to you're never going to finish the rehearsal. So oh, barbecue as a task. I love that. That's the best task compared with the tasks I have. I'm going to get started on that. Yes, that works. You can do that too, but just keep in mind that sometimes, like you might get a little bit nervous when you're actually presenting it, so you might actually talk a little bit faster. So that's something that it may take less time. That's all. Okay, going to continue on the next session. Hello, hello, hello. How is the group doing for the hour? Was doing a lot of the market, still checking, and I was looking at the goal that I set up for myself. I mean, the stock is going crazy. So let me just check the messages. You're doing stitching. Okay, that's good. I'm kind of angry and sad. What happened? Yes, I'm here if you would like to talk during break. I am going to check if there is chat. It's fine. Okay. I don't think there is a lot of chat. So in here, I'm also going to check Discord. Okay, I'm just checking Discord. Right now, yes, I think I'm the one who I think posted the last about how many points I get, and I'm checking the one for lobster. I think June 2nd, lobster is looking to do like a 10K daily walk. That's intense. He did cross eat clean. So what happened? What did you eat, lobster? I'm curious. But for me, I think it's a relatively, I'm going to do it slower today. And yeah, I don't think I want to do another 10-hour. That just drains me really fast. Hello, hello, hello. How are you doing? Are you back to do more video editing? So for the next focus session, I probably won't be able to do 60 minutes and 10 minutes. I have a call that I need to get to at 11 o'clock. So I would need to probably cut it to a little bit short to 15 minutes and 10 minutes so that I can finish that within 1 hour. And that will be the last focus session that I will have for today. Um, I think that's probably a better way to start a day compared with how I did yesterday. So I do think I have limited amount of brain power that I can use for the day. So it's really depending on what I want to use it for. And oh, let me just check. It was my grandfather. I was actually taking newspaper and come home. So he on my way back, he saw me and I greeted him. So he asked why I was carrying newspaper. So I said it was for stitching. So he asked why am I doing stitching? So I said I'm learning a new skill. He said there is a saying that goes, jack of all trade, master of none. He said I was like that. So I complete the quote for by saying it's often better than master of none. So I complete the quote by saying it's often better than master of none. He got angry and said, you don't have to teach me. Oh, okay. I think you have our argument with your grandfather. So this is how I remember someone mentioned that there are like kind of three level. The first level is the person who I guess the worst is like the person who didn't listen to their parents and got a really bad life. Those people are rebellious and yet they're not really smart. And the second level is like they live a relatively safe life. They just follow their parents' old path. They never live out of it. They are not super, super smart, but they smart enough to listen to their parents. No, that's the best way. The best people are the people who don't, like, not saying you don't follow their parents, but you live out of your parents' generation. So those are the smartest people. But then the thing is, are you the like you don't know which one you are you the smartest person who like okay maybe you rebel your parents generation and live out your own way, or you are just like being dumb, like your parents give you the smartest option, you just don't listen, follow, like only the results can tell. So I'm not saying like disobey everything they say, but listen, but you don't have to follow. They have the right to suggest, but you ultimately are the owner of your life and you can decide what you want to do and what you don't want to do. And if you do think like stitching like right now is good for you, then go for it. And one thing I do feel is that you are young and yeah, so I think you're young, it's okay to explore. And I personally won't call you saying that you are jack of all trades, and like I just feel that you are still exploring. And personally, I this is what I believe, actions speak louder than words. So you don't need to convince them anything. If you like go into the interior design school, got a degree, and like just stick with that trade and become like one of the top interior designer. Like I don't know, like well, the building is named after you. It was so nice. It was featured in like one of the TV show, like things like that. You don't need to prove them anything. They know who you are, and it's just sometimes we want to prove ourselves with words, but use the time like to focus on what you want to do. Like you're learning stitching, just do it. And it is a skill, like after all. I'm not saying it's like I don't know. Like for me, I tried it. Like I don't have it right now, but I have like hairband. I sew it myself, and like I do feel you are able to explore. And once we explore, like if it's not now, are we waiting when we have like family, when we have responsibility, when we have like kids? That's when we're going to say, hey, I'm going to like start exploring like my true passion. Isn't like sorry, the Moon and Sixpenny. I can't remember the name. 月亮与六便士. I think that's the name. Like you don't want to do that when you get married and then say, "Hey, I want to pursue my dream and be a painter," and then like leave my family and my infants, kids and stuff. Like I think right now is a good time to explore. So I personally will support you, and but I will support you in a way, just actively doing what you want to do, like set a goal, and you know who you are. You don't need to convince anyone who you are. You just need to act who you are. Anyways, that's just my opinion, my 2 cents. I'm going to continue on my last break and then get started. As mentioned, it's going to be a little bit shorter because I'm going to get going like in at 11 o'clock. So let's get started the last session. Hello, hello, hello. So it is break time. How is everyone doing? I am working through like my report at this point. Let me read some of the messages from the chat as well. And this is going to be the last break. I learned from yesterday, 10-hour. I mean, I can try, but I don't think 10-hour is my thing. So I'm going to do it slowly in this case. Um, oh yeah, sorry. For the last break, I kind of mix up the two topic. I think you said you get a first dislike, so I saw Sub said that. So when I was reading that, I was like, oh, it's okay. Who cares about dislike? Like, from a consumeristic standpoint, like even money, people hate money because they were thinking that you were corrupted. And from a religious perspective, there are people who even hate Jesus, even like people around him, like in that era hated him. So even someone like that could be hated. Like, why? Like, how? I'm not better than like money. Like, I'm not going to expect everyone to like me. So I think for me, being disliked is normal. And I'm okay with that. Or like I say I'm okay with that. I still get upset when people are like, "Oh, Sherry, you look so like what am I doing here? Just looking at your stressed face for like the hour and what is the purpose of this?" Like I still get hates, but haters always hate. That's what I remind myself and let them hate and then I love myself. That's all. But yeah, I don't know how these algorithm works, to be honest. I posted my short on YouTube. I got like 4 views, 4. And then I think 2 of them was me clicking, just making sure everything is working out because I just don't understand 4. And I asked AI, was like, why does it only give me like 4 views? Like, what did I do wrong? I feel that was like a very cool thing. Like, I did a time lapse of like my 4 hours of just like tireless, like staring at the computer or just my stress face looking at the computer and just working and studying and taking notes. But then it was just like, it was just bad. Like, it was bad reviews. So, and it took me quite some time to do the time lapse, believe it or not, because I need to download it and then like, convert it and all these kind of thing. which is not bad. I mean, I just stopped doing this kind of format. The market tells me. But on TikTok, I got like 200 views. So I mean, not a lot, but still like better than like the four or like the two. I can check how many views I got for like YouTube right now, but um, I am too ambitious for like creating my goal. Um, five. So I got additional view. Did I click on it this morning? I think I'm just like obsessed with the views with that. But anyways, hello, hello, hello. Oh, how was your streaming? Are you ready for the collabs? I mean, I can do it, but today, like, I'm ending my stream in like 7 minutes. Oh, you did? Okay, that's good. That's good. So how was it? How do you like it? I was just talking about cannot verify number, your phone number. I don't know if YouTube allow you to do that, but but then you know what? You only need to set it up once, and then you'll be good. You don't need to constantly do that, and you already did the biggest step of like the first step, which is usually the hardest, is you step out and start streaming. And but how was your first stream? You know, I think the hardest one is like start streaming. The second thing is get the crowd to start streaming. I think I read that if you get to Twitch affiliate, you are already like, I don't know, like 20%, like on the top 20%, because I think most people on Twitch will just like they don't stream, so maybe that's why. Once this is done, I'll let you know. Oh, they still allow you to stream without verifying number. Okay, that's good to know. But yeah, like I heard that even like sometimes I was like, oh, like I'm here by myself. I think last yesterday towards the end of like the 10 hour, I did like a 10 hour, 30 minutes. The last break, I'm definitely here by myself. I mean I don't blame anyone because like I'm exhausted by then. I look tired. My face was like, oh, because I was just like, I set up it to be like 8 out of 8 and I miscounted. Okay, yeah, like a streamer who can't even count. But so I did like an 8 out of 8, and then yeah, I missed one of them, so that's fine. So no, so what happened? I was unfairly banned on other account, and the number was on that account. Oh, I see. I see. Okay. But why does it matter? I don't know. I don't know how Twitch change it. So yeah, I didn't have an issue with verifying my number on Twitch, so it was okay. But if this is not working, try YouTube, try Kick, try other platform. But I mean, Twitch is good if you like interaction and yeah, like I think I don't know. I'm getting quite a few views on Twitch compared with my YouTube, probably because I have already started streaming on Twitch for quite some time, and that may be why. And thank you, 5673E. I got like comments from you almost daily, so thank you so much for joining me all the time. And if this motivates you, inspire you in any way, feel free to join me and then get things done. So I'm definitely adding like 3 XP for my merchant this morning. I'm working hard on that, and yeah, I'm getting I like the interaction too. So yeah, like I think that's one thing about like Twitch. I like the fact that they can like I need to figure out more things about the XP and stuff, but yeah, and Twitch affiliate I think is a little bit easier. I did my research in fact. So if you're talking about streaming, you can also do TikTok live, which I haven't tried. So I can't give you any tips on that. But I think I did like Kick before, and it was pretty hard to get to the affiliate compared with like here. I think it's a little bit easier to get affiliate. I think over there you need like 10 sub or something. I can't remember the exact number. But yeah, so feel free to get started, and whenever you are ready, let me know. Yeah, we can try a collaboration, but probably would do it during break, or if you want to just yeah, yeah, we can chat a little bit. So I'm going to get going now, and so 3 points is pretty good. I'll continue doing more work in the next few hours so that we'll be able to get more points. And I'll continue posting on my shorts. Like, I mean, TikTok like it, so at least some platform likes it. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I will see you definitely tomorrow, but I'm not sure if I would be able to come back in later tonight. But I mean, I'm definitely going to be back tomorrow and a Thursday. So tomorrow is going to be a short stream, but Thursday I'll be here for a little bit longer. So we can do more on Thursday and Friday. So Thursday and Friday, I'll be here for a little bit longer. Tomorrow, just be anticipating it's going to be a short session. Okay. So thank you for joining me, and good luck for those who are still working on things, and hope you will get all your stuff done. And just a reminder, we're still doing the Dream Challenge. So if you're interested like leveling up, just becoming a better version of yourself, feel free to add in like what you're trying to do. Like for me, I'm a builder, so I'm trying to build my social media. I set a very aggressive goal for myself, and I don't know if I'm able to make it, but I'm trying. So, like, yeah, if you have a goal in mind, give it a try and start tracking. Like, like at the end of the day, if you're saying you're a builder and you only spend like 2 hours on it, then it's hard to call yourself a builder at that point. Anyways, time to go. Thank you. Bye bye.